Friends, welcome back in the Golden Tee Lounge. Kevin Lindsay here. Happy Tuesday to you. You've survived Monday. Hopefully you got out and played Monte Zeballos on our Monday mix-up. But now it is time to take a look at this week's Classic Course of the Week. This is Heather Pointe from the original Golden Tee Live 2005. We are going to change back to the grabbers because I'm stubborn and will not switch to Titans or to Stouts. Probably one of the longer looks that you'll see here on Heather number 1. This one is sometimes drivable, if not at least getting into the chipping range. But today's setup, at least the game I'm playing right now, the 50-man contest I'm in, it is set up for pretty far. Hole out there would have been lovely, but Classic Course of the Week was supposed to end at the end of 2021, but you guys requested it. Keep going, so we have restarted the schedule. Last week was Rattlesnake Ridge. Why is my player rating 3598? I have no idea. That's extremely too high for me, especially with how I play lately. But now we have moved on to Heather Pointe. Again, number 2, this is another one of those that, why not, screw it, is sometimes drivable. It really just depends on the hill bounce you may get. You're likely to end up in the sand like I am here, but usually you're not in too much trouble. And I actually like these little chips out of the sand. Like them better when they go into the cup, but that's all right. So we'll keep this going. Classic Course of the Week will go, and this happens until the end of Sunday. So as I say every week, I will say it now. Swollen cheeks and all. Play as many games as you want per day, up to 10 on this course for prizes on a 2021 arcade game near you. But when it gets to Sunday, that calendar resets around 11 o'clock Central Time. So I highly recommend you get your games in Saturday night and early Sunday morning, because the later you play into Sunday, the more likely you are to end up getting a refund, just because if 50 people don't get into that contest and that contest doesn't close before Classic Course of the Week switches, there's no more way for people to get into that course, and therefore you're not going to get any of those prizes you may have won. You'll just get your dollar back because you played too late in the day on Sunday. This one, number 5, not a bad setup here. I don't think I've ever clipped those bushes there, so you can just go ahead and smack IT. Sometimes you may have to do a big A1 from one click to the left. It really depends on the tee box and how far back you are. Even with golden tees, it does get a little difficult sometimes. So shout out to everybody who played these courses before golden tees, because they were a little bit more challenging back then. Looks like a couple people got some hole outs here in the beginning. Let's see if we can join them. If you watched Freaky Friday stream on Friday or yesterday's Monday mix-up, we were messing around with those Aero golf balls, but we are back on grabbers. That is one hell of a way to get on the green. If you're having some struggles there, just bounce it out of the sand and off the wall, and then you're good to go. Highly don't recommend more than 20-foot putt on this hole, but if you get the chance to putt for birdie from far, as I always say, just go for the birdie or the eagle. Get what you need on that hole and move on. Number 7, this is a fun par 4 here. This one, you can use an 8-wood. You can sometimes hit a 5 hybrid. I like going in with the 3 hybrid. I don't know why. There's just something about coming in hot over that hill. Sometimes you kick off the hill and get a little goofy bounce towards the cup. There's just something about that that's really fun. I don't know what else to say about that, honestly. Hole number 8, this par 5. I would say maybe like 1% of the time this hole is drivable, and it's drivable because of this fancy thing called Magic Hill that if you get enough good of a bounce approaching this, there has been stories of people carrying it far enough onto the green or at least into the sand trap to chip for double eagle. I've had that ramp come up once or twice when I've played this course over the years. Nothing really exciting, but I would love to see a hole-in-one on that hole, even if it involves a magical ramp that sends your ball going like crazy. Number 9, this is an always drivable par 4. You might just sometimes bounce off the hill like this. That 334 is probably about the longest look you can get there, maybe a few yards farther back, depending on where those tees randomly get set up when the contest is generated. But 14 under, especially with 1 and 2 being shut down. 2 is kind of there for a chip. It really depends. You saw, I don't think you guys saw, but at the beginning, Evan Gossett from St. Louis with 32 under. This is another one of those holes, number 10. Wasn't really drivable a lot before tees, as far as I can remember. But the use of tees have definitely made this one much, much more scoreable. Even that look there, I wasn't trying to drive by any means, and I only ended up about 60-something yards away. So it's definitely there if you're using the arrows, streaks maybe. And then number 11, this is probably one of the tougher par 3s that you may see, especially depending on the wind you get. It's just a small green, and all the other greens are so much larger. And even with super spin, that rain just killed any backspin that I was getting there. Hole number 12. This is another tough one, especially as you get to the poor weather situation that we're running into. You got to be careful, because if you try to hit a C3 here, you're most likely going to end up in the sand. I'm just going to punch it out here. It's actually going to take me farther than I thought, so I should have a pretty straight approach. Now this is where it gets a little bit struggle, because do you hit the 8-wood? Now it's raining, so I need to tell myself, do not crush this, because it's going to go farther than you think. If you try to get cute with the 3 hybrid, maybe you could bounce it up off the rough into the cup. But unless you have a terrible game going, I highly recommend just taking the 8-wood. I didn't even hit it that hard. Nope. Okay, cool. Didn't think I hit it that hard at all. But that's just one of those things you got to worry about. This is, even though it's hole 12, oof, that chip also didn't even touch the green, just went straight into the water. That's where you got to be careful. Am I just going to miss every single shot on this hole? Cool. We'll pretend like this hole didn't happen. I don't know the last time I've double bogeyed it, but that's good. Number 13, this is always drivable. It may just require a little bit more effort on your end. Probably could have gotten away with roll there. But with it raining on most of the course, you can see, even though it's not raining on 13, the ball still slows down a little bit because that green is still wet. And then number 14, this one is not drivable. I'm sure there's stories in the past of people getting it on there close. I have never seen anything in the YouTube era. If I'm wrong, by all means, please show me. I'd love to see it. I just hit it out here in the rough and then just soft a 5 hybrid. Probably didn't need to soft it that much. That's all right. All right, number 15. This is a drivable par 4. Very tricky, and I say that because of such a steep elevation change. So I'm just going to play this safe. I'm going to hit a 3-wood. I'm not going to put any spin on it. I'm not going to put bite. I'm not going to put backspin. Maybe roll would have been helpful. Not something I usually do is go naked on this hole, but with this setup, it works out really well. If you've got a favorable wind blowing out there like that, try not to use backspin or bite, because you still will get a kickback with that big elevation change. Hole 16, this is another fun par 5. This was in our Freaky Friday not long ago. This one doesn't require a lot of effort. Just get it out there on the fairway. You want to give yourself a straight shot here. Now this is where it gets tricky. You can soft a 6-wood, but you've got 13 at your back with a down 10. I'm going to just go ahead and, because I'm on the first cut, I'm just going to go ahead and punch an 8 wood. Should be set pretty well. Still going to be, this putt won't be hard. It's just going to have a big slope to the right. In an instance like this, even though I'm only 27 feet, I always up 9, right 3. I'm going to click 1. You can see it goes up, less right. As you go to the right, though, it changes very drastically. It goes from up 9 to up 8, and then right 3 to right 5. So you know you got to hit it out a little bit farther to the left to compensate for the green slope. All right, now this is a beautiful setup. Right 10, 162 yard, 17th hole par 3. This one, I'm not even going to get cute with it. I'm going to push it out a little bit to the right. I'm just going to let the wind blow it left and the green slope blow it right. And honestly, whatever happens, happens. We'll take it. I'm cool with that. I'm happy with that because I don't know the last time that I've aced this damn hole. So we're just going to let keep on rolling there. I am more than happy to get a hole in one after having a double bogey earlier in the game. Now 18, this is a beautiful setup at 235, but let me tell you, as a lot of people can attest, this little strip of tee box is pretty damn long. Like, pretty damn long. And it's not just there for aesthetics. You really can get tee boxes back there to put it at 330 with a giant wind in your face. That really isn't fun. Now, I'm going to play it cute with my soft 5 wood, and I'm going to use bite because we're going to go for back-to-back hole outs. I'm not even going to get it on the green, so that's wet. Very shocking, very Kevin Lindsay-like. The problem, too, when you get wet on here is you don't really have, that's also going in the water, you don't have a good drop spot. So you're going to deal with elevation changes, walk on water like Jesus to take that bogey. All right, not a good score at all. That's all right. It happens. But now is your chance. GoldenTee.com/locations. Find a 2021 arcade game near you. Play in this week's Classic Course of the Week. Heather Pointe from the original Golden Tee Live 2005. Play until Sunday, and then we will switch into a new course. All right, so thank you for joining me here in the Golden Tee Lounge. We'll see you guys next time.